Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle cards. The Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Anything else with that? No? Okay. I'm kind of like already poised for the fun. What does that mean? Poised for the fun. Okay. All right, so I feel like this is letting go. It's a situation where you're starting right off with the White Raven and the Six of Wands. You've seen a situation through to its success. It's not saying that like it's almost like you've acquired the success. You've gotten it where it needs to go for now. But I feel like it's kind of saying your time is up. You should be getting inklings when this is hitting. When this happens, you have those inklings. And I understand that some people come to this at different times. Like maybe you're just hitting this part now. Maybe you've just happened. Maybe this has just happened. Maybe this is about a situation that you knew it was over but still held on to it. Because I'm getting the White Raven with the success, which the Six of Wands is success. You've hit it at the right spot, but I'm getting like, when I feel White Raven, I feel like it's like a season. Like if something has its season. When the White Raven is most effective in the winter for some reason, that's how I see it, because you can't see it as well. In the spring or summer, when it's around all the other ravens that are probably black, I'm assuming they're all black. I don't think they come in other colors, quite frankly. But they stick out like a sore thumb. You can see them so easily. But when they're in the snow or in a white background, you don't really see them that easily. They blend in quite nicely. That's their season. That's when they really flourish. So when I'm seeing like this, you had your season with the situation. You got your pinnacle of success. The thing is, I feel like whatever you're connected to doesn't want you to leave, or at least didn't at this time. Didn't want you to leave. It is trying to find other ways to tie you in so that you stay and don't go anywhere else. The dog with the I want to call it magician. Well, the alchemist, magician, same difference, in my opinion. The dog especially is kind of like loyalty. That definitely has something to do with loyalty on the right. Be loyal to what you love. But I'm like dogmatic. Love dogs, but one of the things about dogs is like they're pretty dependable. However they handle it today, usually how they handle it tomorrow. That's what I've learned from dogs. They like pattern. It just seems to be that's the thing. But they're very loyal. When they care about something, they want to keep it. They bond with something. Even if something isn't the best for them, they still bond with it. They want to keep it because they're used to it. That's what I'm getting from that. So something or someone doesn't want you to leave the situation, but you should already know at that point. Even at that point, it's like when the season starts to change, it's quite obvious to you, like, things aren't right, it's time to move on. Now, this is the thing with this reading. For a lot of you, I feel like this is the point where you need to move on. And it's saying you need to move on. Others of you did move on at this point because you got the world popping in. And it's coming in on your side, which says you had the inkling. So it's either you had the inkling or you currently have the inkling that it's time to move on. You know it is. The situation is changing. This situation, be it a person or a job or some type of situation, the writing's on the wall. The hawk, is that hawk? Yep, hawk, which says, let spirit be your guide. But I also feel like that's the perception of the situation. They know that the situation will end. You're not destined to stay here for the rest of your life. The heyday is past. Things are changing. The winds of change are there. Reminds me of Gemini a little bit. The winds of change are there. Remember I said that in that reading anyway. But they don't want to let you go. Now, the whale spirit for me talks about family as well. On this card it says, trust the great mystery. I feel family. And I almost feel like they feel like you need to be a part of their mystery. Like, they don't know how they're going to get you to stay, but they really feel like they need to and that they're going to be successful with that. Even when you're trying to leave, whatever that is, when you're trying to go through the process of disconnecting from this, they're actively fighting to keep you a part of the situation, and they're telling you you need to be here. In some cases, if they can try to control you, they're going to try to control you. Whatever they need to do to keep you a part of the situation, they feel like you need to be a part of it, and they're going to do anything they can to make that happen. The Queen of Wands is very resourceful. Takes action, moves forward, very resourceful. They don't think they're doing anything wrong, by the way. But what I'm feeling when this pressure comes onto you, you're wanting to get away from it. It's weird, because this card isn't just about being left out in the cold. Sometimes it's the desire to disconnect and feeling like you can't get out of something. It's almost like, it's not the Eight of Swords, granted, but I feel like you're trying to shun the situation. You're trying to shun the situation. So the more they try to push on you to keep you there, the more you're trying to just kind of get out and shun it. You're trying to shun it is what I'm getting. You're trying to kind of like, let me go, leave me alone. And it's not the Eight of Swords, but I'm kind of getting that Eight of Swords feeling. I don't think it's down here, no, but it's kind of reminding me of that. Kind of like, somebody's trying to trap you, but you don't want to fall for this trap. It's like they're trying to lure you into this cage. I don't know where we're going with that. They're trying to lure you into this cage. They're trying to lure you into the Eight of Swords, but you're like, nope. No, I don't need that carrot. I don't need that burger. I don't need whatever they're trying to lure you in with to trap you. Nope. You're trying to shun it. That's what I'm getting from this. You're like, no. No, I see your tricks and I'm not playing. No. This comes to this moment where it's kind of a mess, and it's like I'm already like with it. There's a lot of energy here. This is really interesting to me. The wheel is turning. You need to go, and you know it's time for you to change, but it's coming in. It's not coming in very stably. It's on its side, which tells me one way or another you're going to need to disconnect. I feel like you need to. You really, really need to. But how messy does it have to be? Because it's kind of like you don't want to end things on bad terms, but it's starting to get really difficult to get out of this without that happening, and you're just kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want this to become a problem. There's a lot of energy to move things forward. These two cards together is really conflicting. The Hanged Man doesn't move. The Chariot, that's what the Chariot does, is move. Like, very conflicting. Like, you need to move forward. There's a lot of pressure to move forward. You know it's time for you to go. But that energy where they're trying to stop you is really strong. So you're not able to move forward as effortlessly or as smoothly as you want to or you need to. It's like it's oil and water. It's fire and water. No, it's oil and water, because oil and water don't mix. It's like that. It's not working. It's not even amusing to look at. It's not good. If you add some fire to the situation, you can burn the oil off the water, maybe, if you were able to ignite it. But I find it's really difficult with this situation. You're battling this. You're like, I got to move out of this situation, and you're being, it's rough. I feel like that's just one of those things where you can't fully disconnect without just, you got to break some eggs to make an omelet. It's one of those feelings. Like, you can't fully disconnect without making somebody unhappy. And I feel like the anxiety gets really heavy, and you're just kind of like, it's almost like jumping into that cold water. It's just kind of like, running up and just plugging your nose and plunk. You're just like, I'm just going to have to do it. I have to get out of this. The Fool card with the Eight of Cups is telling me you get pushed into a corner where you don't want to make this rough, but you're just like, I just got to do it quick. I just got to rip it off like that big Band-Aid. Just rip that Band-Aid off. It's going to hurt for a quick second, but the sooner you rip it off, the sooner it's over. Fool card is telling me I don't know how that's going to turn out. I don't know if I'm going to be burning bridges when I do it, but I got to get out of here. The Eight of Cups is like, once you do it, the other side has to accept that you're done. I feel like there's a little guilt being pushed your way here. There's the Three of Pentacles. Even after you've ripped that Band-Aid off, I feel like there's energy where, there's a residual energy, almost like leftover moments here with the Three of Pentacles. Like they're still working at it. They're still working as if you're going to be a part of this. They're still working at it like you have to come back or you have to be a part of this. I feel like you're just kind of walking away. Kind of like, no, I said I was done, and this is done. And you're seeing that energy where they're working at it, trying to pull you back. Like literally they're working at it as if you never left or as if you didn't really go. And you got to kind of handle it in the sense of like, yeah, I don't like the way this is going, but I said I was going and I'm gone. There's a weird element of this afterwards. The disconnect is the weirdest part. Weird part. Because you got the moon in here, which is mystery, but you got to do what's right for you. And I feel like you have to look at this like if they're trying to set this up, like if they're creating this plan and they're depending on you for some of this plan to work out, but you've already told them you're not going to be there, it's on them if that fails. And it makes you uncomfortable, and it makes you wonder like how other people are going to perceive you. But I feel like all you can do is disconnect from at this point. That's all you can do. And it's really just an uncomfortable time. Kind of like, I did the right thing. I did what I was supposed to do. I told people that I was leaving. If somebody else, created a part of a plan that I needed to be there for it to succeed, that's on them because I told them I wasn't going to be there. Okay. You're going to have to ignore it is what I'm... whatever this energy is, if it keeps coming at you, the Seven of Swords is telling me you're just going to have to ignore it and move on. I feel like you've given adequate notice, adequate messages, adequate information. Like you have told people you're not going to be a part of it. You're not gonna be a part of it. You gave the message. You gave the information. You told your position. You said I'm moving on. If they're trying to whatever, it's like they're trying to trap you, but you're like, the only way to get out of this trap is just to ignore it. And if it fails, it's on them. It's on them. You told them. You will be a lot happier just moving forward, making choices for where you need to go next. Focus on where you need to go next. Focus on your next choices. You're going to have to ignore this other situation because I feel like they're trying to play on your sympathy, almost, I want to say. Almost like your better nature, but that's not fair. Because they're trying to manipulate you back into it. Just the best way is just to ignore it. If they fail, it's on them. I feel like this is a good lesson for whoever you're dealing with as well. By you not putting up with this and just disconnecting, you have given them adequate information about this. If they set that up to fail because they were demanding you were going to be a part of it, and they're like, oh, if you're not there, we're going to fail, we're going to sink, the ship's going to sink, and we're all going to die, well, that's on them. Because I feel like they're not going to all die. But that might be how they're playing it off to you. Like, you got to be there, we're all going to die. If you're not there, we're all going to die. They're not. But they might lose the ship and get stranded on a desert island or something, but they'll be fine. They'll learn their lesson from this. I feel like when this happens, there's people around the situation that need to learn something. They need to see how this is going. They need to see what's really happening here. This is going to highlight some other problems. I really do feel like I'm getting the word balance here. You're not going to be there to see it, is the thing. But it's going to balance things out and show people what's really happening. I just feel like you're not going to be there to see it. So you're going to kind of have to take that on faith, is what I'm getting, because I don't think you're going to see it. But it's going to serve the situation. You're doing what's right for you, and in turn, it's going to balance out that situation in the long run. I'm not saying, like, people are going to snap to it like, oh, look what happened. No. But, like, as things, like, if this person did really set it up to where the situation will fail without you, this person is going to get, like, held to the fire. Like, they're going to get their feet held to the fire on that. Like, why did this fail? What happened? Well, we needed the Libra to do it, and the Libra ditched us. And they're like, no, the Libra told us they were leaving. So this is on you. Not right away, it may be farther down the line, and I don't see seeing that, but there will be consequences if they did pull something like that. Anything else here? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.